I want to talk about us today. I want to talk about all of us in this room, because as I'm thinking about what I wanted to talk about tonight, I'm reflecting back over the last 10 years or so, being invited to be part of this family and who we are here at New Beginnings. And if I look at my development as a human being, and I don't know if you guys could relate to this, but my chiropractic life coexists with my personal development, right? I'm a better chiropractor because I've worked on myself continuously. And it's less about what I've gained and procedures that I've learned, and it's more about what I've let go of. Letting go of self, letting go of ego. You know, it's kind of fun right here. I'm very comfortable in this room because, you know, I no longer feel I need to impress anybody. It's a lot of energy and work when you're trying to impress people and you're trying to be cool, right? And it's really nice to be here. So I want to thank Jim for inviting me to talk again, because as I look back at the benchmarks of times I've been here, they've coincided with next levels of service and new levels of love and new levels of connection with people. So I just want to thank you and the board for allowing me that opportunity, not just for today, but for every time I've been allowed to come here. And so I'm thinking, maybe I just turned 45 last month, so I feel like I'm changing a little bit, right? And I'm kind of a go guy, and I'm starting to realize that, you know what, I don't want to feed that anymore. I mean, it's almost better for me to kind of relax. So I want to talk about, you know, I was thinking about the fact that where we are in life, or where you are in life, is both temporary and I lost track, sorry for that. It's both temporary and exactly where we're supposed to be. Right? Everything in our life and every choice that we've made as we sit here in these seats is a culmination of the choices that we've made. And the time just keeps on going, and it keeps on going, and it keeps on ticking. So we've arrived here at this point in our lives, or in your lives, to learn, to learn more about who we are, to learn everything that we need to create the human beings that we want to be in life. And I think it's just so important. And in the times where it's hardest, because we talk about the struggles of being a chiropractor, and we talk about the frustration sometimes that they don't know what we know, and we talked about that, and Jason was talking about that earlier. We're talking about the fact that, especially when the times are challenging and tough, that right now is an opportunity for us to learn and grow and to develop and create the lives that we've always wanted. So I love the fact that we get to do that and share that with each other. And I'm thinking a lot about, when we come here and when we're here, what is it that we're looking to do? I love the fact that we're together. I love the word together because it means to gather. And we come together a couple times a year, and they don't understand us, right? And when I say them, I mean even some of the people in our family don't know what it's like to be a chiropractor, or what it takes, the drive, and where those values come from as we choose those values, and we choose to be serving people and loving people, and we get to come together. Because you know what? This ain't no club. It's not a club. The world's got too many clubs. The world's got too many organizations and all that. This is something different. It's always been something different to me. And you know what? If we take this moment tonight and we start our weekend off right, let's make it one of those learning, growing weekends where something happens. Because one thing that becomes frustrating sometimes to me when I get to speak up here and try to share my heart where we're at in practice, is that sometimes the butts in the seats are hearing, and I know sometimes we're afraid to engage. We're afraid to how are we going to take this out on the road, and how are we going to take it out of here? So as we're in here today, I know that I come here I'm going to talk about two reasons why I come, and I wonder if you guys will actually identify with that. One is the connection, right? I had a great day today. I had so much fun today. I didn't expect to have the day that we had today, but I'm hanging out with Josh and Ronnie, and we went out and got empanadas at lunch, and, hanging out with my chiropractic friends and my brothers and sisters in chiropractic. We had a great dinner tonight, and we just had a good time. We get to do that, and it's the connection. When we're in these rooms, why do we love to be here? Because we're loved, and we're accepted, and we feel successful when we're here. I know I do, because the only neat thing I need to be successful here is A, show up as a chiropractor, because I know that I'm going to be in a room with people. The numbers don't matter today, guys. The patient visits don't matter today, who showed up and new patients, because we were here. All we need to do is show up and be ourselves. And then the success in that today comes from the fact that we're all on the same page. We're all in this together, and we get to share that. And I think that's an important thing for us to do. And I think about those that don't show up here, and for whatever reason, they don't have that connection. I don't know how they even, survive out there, but I know that this is a big part for me. And I would imagine that, by show of hands, it's probably the same thing for you guys. At least somebody, right? There you go. I'm glad. Right, fantastic. We can interact. The second thing that I think is really, really important for me is I come here to get the principle. We need to hear the principle. And we talked again, and I just keep thinking about some of the frustrations in practices. They don't know we know. And, so we come and hear the principle, and we'll hear speakers, and I'm opening up for Kathy and my mentor, Dr. Plasker, and I know that Jay will get up, and Jim will get up, and Ernie's going to get up, and everybody's going to get up, and we're going to hear the principle again and again and again. They don't hear the principle except from us. They don't hear it 30 times in a weekend, so we need to be fed so we can go out there and do the same thing. So I think it's important that we have these gatherings and we come and do this. So I'm going to take a little different approach. I want you to go home with something today. And just a little epiphany of mine. But what's interesting is when Jason said that they don't know what we know, and would you say that's frustrating in practice? Would you say it's frustrating? I don't know what happened to me, but to tell you the truth, and I wish they know what they knew, and I'm so happy that we've got a campaign and people are going to go and try to get everybody to know what we know. But you know what? I don't know, and I hope it does, but I don't know if it's going to happen in my lifetime. But I don't know how I can take this, but I kind of like that fact. I like the fact that nobody knows what we know. And how many of you go to cocktail parties, Chamber of Commerce events, right? And you find out you're a chiropractor, right? And someone's going to say something stupid. Guaranteed every single time, right? Right? But look, now I need a show of hands. We're chiropractors. We go out into the world, right? And we start talking, and we just say, I'm a chiropractor. That's all you say. This guy works on Wall Street, and that guy's a plumber, and I'm a chiropractor. Nobody says stupid stuff to the plumber. You might ask for a plumbing advice. You might ask about something about plumbing and maybe some advice, or even they ask for some stock tips from the stock. But they say stupidest things to us, right? So does that frustrate anybody here? Does it? Well, this is going to be my tip, all right? Now, I love going out and speaking in chiropractic, okay? I love to go out because it's the best way to grow my practice. Last Thursday, I spoke to 27 people, 16 new patients, 1 hour. That's a great day, right? Last month, I was over at AT&T. I did a spinal screening. I never did them before. I had a good time. I'm going to do a lot more of them because I went out where the people were. I went out to the people. We did 17 people. We were only there 2 hours. So I can do that. I love that, right? Talking chiropractic. Do that. If you're not going out and speaking, you're not going out to where the people are, go do that. I'm not going to tell you about that procedure. You've been told to do that before. You've been told that your whole entire career, right? So just do that. If you haven't done that already, do that. I'm talking about the cocktail party. Because I got to go to those. My wife drags me, right? I got to go and talk to these people. So I like it. I love when they say stupid stuff to me, okay? As a matter of fact, I anticipate it. It's my favorite thing to do, right? So what I'll do is I wait. I'm like a prancing panther when I go to the party. I really don't drink. I really don't, so I sit around. I'm kind of social. I'm kind of an introvert, quite honestly, when it comes to being social, unless we're talking about chiropractic. So my wife will say, just behave, please. They're my friends. They're my friends' husbands, right? So, but they initiate it, right? So I wait for the moment. I wait for the moment, and they say, oh, you're a chiropractor, huh? And you know, whatever they're going to say. Sometimes they go to the neck. Sometimes they're like, well, I don't believe in chiropractic. As a matter of fact, just the other day, I went to the Little League parade, right? You know, we go 8 o'clock in the morning on a Saturday. Wives send the husbands, right? Because they've been with the kids all week. And I'm sitting there, and this guy goes to me. He goes, what are you doing? I'm a chiropractor. He goes, that's interesting. He goes, I wrote a paper on how chiropractors weren't real doctors. I mean, think about it. Like, that's what he said to me. I'm like, oh, this is going to be great. I wrote a book on how chiropractic. I go, let me ask you. I go, so what I'll say is this. Interesting. Tell me what the paper was about. What was your premise? What was your point? Oh, well, you know, that they're not real doctors. They call themselves doctors. I go, so what was the evidence that you arrived at to come to your conclusion? Well, it really wasn't any. I go, oh, so what'd you get in that paper? He goes, I passed. I go, what school did you go to? I go, first of all, you have a premise. You had nothing to back it up with. Let me tell you what chiropractic is. At the cocktail party, what I'll do is this. I find one of my favorite things to say is, that's interesting. You know, that's interesting. You'll be at the cocktail party, and what'll happen is, hey, you're a chiropractor. So I went to a chiropractor, and you know, and he hurt my neck or whatever. I go, interesting. Tell me what you know. This is what I would give you advice when you get in that moment. 6 words. Tell me what you know about chiropractic. That's the bomb. Trust me. Tell me what you know about chiropractic. The living room is quiet. This fella, who knows nothing about chiropractic, because we already agreed, they don't know what we do, right? They love to give us advice. But they love to tell you their perspective on chiropractic. Tell me what you know about chiropractic. Guaranteed, the guy has no idea. But he's gonna say something. They don't even know anything about it, but they got a lot to say. So I'll just say, well, interesting. Well, that's really not what chiropractic is. Chiropractic is about the nervous system. It's about the neurology. Did you know that? It's not even about aches and pains. It's not about your cousins, sisters, friends' neck pain. It's about the neurology. It's about how your nervous system runs everything, your brain and your spinal cord. Tell me a little more what you know about chiropractic. And they know nothing, right? So it gives me the opportunity to do my 10-minute talk. I didn't push it on them, but I came prepared. I came prepared to talk about chiropractic. And if you go to every event with that in mind, you're going to get patients. I get them all the time. The guy who wrote the paper on how chiropractic wasn't real doctors, by the time I was done with him, sent me his son, because his son was having problems, and now he comes to the office. You know, when I'm at this happens, I'm just giving you a real life experience. We're at a birthday party, and there's 2 moms talking to each other. And the one mom says to the other, my daughter's sick. Right away, my wife's like, oh gosh. They're not even talking to us. I hope she's got strep, because then the doctor will give her a Z-Pack. Then my wife puts her head in her hand, and she goes, no. Right? 10 minutes later, we had the daughter into the office. Why? They don't want to give the drugs to the kids. They just don't know any better. So I think the fact they don't know anything gives us such a large amount of people that we can talk to about chiropractic at any given time. And instead of shrinking and being afraid and having fear of what they're going to expect, by the way, I've never gotten punched in the face. I've never had a broken limb. I've never been injured when I suggested that I'm a chiropractor. Because I do it because I want to serve and take care of those people. I'm across the street at 7-Eleven, and the mom is buying medication for the child's allergies, and I just say, hey, my office is across the street. We take care of kids like that all the time. We don't put drugs in their body, and we get great success. Would you like to come by and see what we do? Okay. So what is it that makes us so aggravated? I mean, nobody's telling the story. No chiropractors are telling the story. I find that. So it kind of allows me, out of 45 chiropractors in my town, maybe 2 or 3 of us are actually telling the story, which means I got a lot of business out there. I've never been busier. Because I've let go of a lot of the fear which I personally believe, fear, like who says it's fear? Everybody says, I speak to a lot of chiropractors. I spend a lot of time with chiropractors. I spend a lot of time because of technology on Google Hangouts. I was on a hangout with somebody from Hong Kong and New Zealand and Australia and Europe the other night, even a guy from Belleville, New Jersey, right, on the hangout. And we're talking about this kind of thing, and it always comes up. It's fear. Fear does not allow me to say what I want to say in chiropractic. I believe fear is the most selfish emotion that we could have. Because you can't be afraid unless you put yourself in the equation. So when did it start being about you? And if you can get yourself out of the way and make it not about you and make it about them, who cares? They weren't coming in anyway. And it turns out they all come in. They all come in. They all come in. So somewhere along the line, I stopped being afraid of telling the story. And you only got to do it once or twice because it works, and then it becomes fun. Because I don't like to do anything that's not fun, right? I mean, it's fun to get new patients everywhere you go. It's fun to be able to go to cocktail parties, and I wait for it to happen. Everybody in this room goes to social events, networking events, and you say what you do. And somebody's going to, and they talk to you about it. I don't push it down their throat, right? I never do that because they're going to say something stupid, right? They're going to, and the thing is, it's a great opportunity for us to Socratically start to ask the questions and find out what are their premises on what they believe about chiropractic. What do they believe about health? Hey, do you know how the body works? No. Oh, okay, interesting. Well, this is how it works. Your brain and your spinal cord run everything. Every cell, every tissue in your organ is run by your brain. It's a fact. Did you know that? Well, I didn't know that. I thought it was the heart. You ever get that? They get that. I mean, they don't know. They don't even know. Like, who are you really afraid of? They don't even know how the body works. Is it the truth? I mean, I'm not making this stuff up. I mean, if they say no, they're so wrong. So where you go? Like, they really don't know what they're talking about, right? It's beautiful. Did you know when you interfere with your nervous system, you interfere with your body's ability to heal and regulate, that the nerves can't communicate to the cells and the tissues of the body properly? Did you know that? No or yes, and wow, I didn't know that. Yes. So if that happens, you can't be healthy. You can't fully express your life. Every human experience happens through your nervous system. You can't even have full human experiences. So what we do is we check your nervous system. We use whatever you use, scanning technology and x-rays and palpation and all kinds of things to find out how your nervous system is functioning. And then we remove that interference so your body functions properly. We take care of thousands of people in our office. Thousands of people in our office. We've got a great team in our office. Pajan Temple says, we don't need them, they need us. We have the greatest healthcare product on the planet. I mean, don't we? Can you be healthy without a healthy spine and nerve system? So I want to ask you today, to think about getting rid of some of the fears in our life. I'm going to ask you to step out a little bit this week. Get a little uncomfortable, and you got to do it. You got to do it somewhere, and just share what you do, because you're going to change people's lives. You can't have a healthy body without a healthy spine and nerve system. So, what am I getting at? What can I leave you with today? We have 1 minute. I wrote a couple quotes down, and take the time to think about an above, down, inside, out principle, okay? Your personal development as a chiropractor and as a human being, it's not going to be an outside-in thing. It's not going to be a procedure. It's not going to be a new PowerPoint. It's not going to be a new way of getting patients and websites and all those things, but they help, okay? It's going to be an inside-out, above-down, inside-out principle. And it's less about gaining information, and it's always about letting go. Letting go of ego. Letting go of fear. and becoming closer to who you are as a human being. Because everyone in this room that I know is here for the right reasons. We're here to serve. We're here to be in pure heart. We're here to have fun, take care of each other. And I can think of no other thing to do in life than to love and serve the people that are around us, those that they don't know. And I think that could be cool until Jason gets the whole world to know, and we help share do that. But we don't wait around frustrated and pissed off. We just get to work. So thank you for your time.